All right, a very happy Sunday and a happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Hopefully, everyone had a great and enjoyable day. I'm sure the people in Massachusetts and Maine and New Hampshire and parts of Connecticut and Celtic fans across the country, they had an enjoyable day from probably about 4:30 until about 6:30 here. I mean, what a complete, this is a family show, so a complete disaster here. And we're going to do a Philadelphia 76ers deep dive. They are team number 26. You can read about them on ESPN.com. We've got 26 articles up there. The Sixers offseason started about an hour ago, and we have them fully covered from head to toe as far as what the focus is going to be this offseason here. I'm writing on my whiteboard 12 of 55. That's James Harden and the losses. 4 losses. 12 of 55. Joel Embiid, 5 of 18. Difference between a regular season MVP and a postseason MVP. And there you have it, folks. 5 of 18 in a game 7. So we're gonna jump into Philadelphia here, and congratulations to Boston. I mean, talk about Jason Tatum. That's why he's a franchise player, and that's why he's going to get $316 million next offseason when he signs that extension. The end of Game 6, and what he did today is he is a franchise top 5 player in the league. That's what top 5 players in the league do. That's what guys who deserve $55-60 million in the league, that's what they do. That's a Damian Lillard type performance here. And when you look at Philadelphia big picture, you're not going to win when you lose 2 games at home. You're not going to win on the road in a Game 7 when you have an elimination game at home to finish them off, and you basically folded like a tent in the fourth quarter. You folded like a tent in the second half when you were down 55-52 and you let go of the rope. I mean, that is the real, that's when we look back on this 76ers team. I don't care what they did during the regular season, and I don't care that Joel Embiid won MVP. At the end of the day, they basically folded in the second half and they let go of the rope. And now the offseason starts with a lot of different questions. A lot. And I would have said, hey, if Philly lost like New York did the other night to Miami, I would say, you know what, we're probably talking about most of this group back. But how history has shown and how the coaches being let go show, and I didn't even write about really Doc Rivers in my offseason article, is like, I mean, like, we're going to hear the speculation about Doc Rivers, fair or unfair. When Milwaukee lets go of their head coach, when Monty Williams is let go, when Nick Nurse is let go, when Frank Vogel a year ago was let go here, and you have Philadelphia under Doc Rivers, the last 3 years, the 3rd winningest team in the NBA, and has failed to get to a conference finals in all 3 years. So let the speculation begin. I'm not going to say what they should do, but there's the proof for you. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers, as far as if you're going to want to make a change, you just follow what Milwaukee and Phoenix just did. There's your blueprint, right? There's your justification. You actually have more of a justification because those teams got to a conference finals 2 years ago. Milwaukee won the NBA championship. Phoenix won 64 games last year. So the first thing, and as I said, I really didn't even touch on that, is figuring out who is going to be the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers in the future. That's priority 1. I mean, your second priority is going to be Harden. I mean, and I was kind to James Harden in my offseason priority. I said Harden's a priority, but at what cost? Well, after watching him go 12 for 55 in the losses, I don't even know if he's a priority right now. I don't know if you can justify paying him $35-40 million a year. And good for James Harden. He took a discount last year. Congrats to him. He gave back $13-14 million so he can go get PJ Tucker and Daniel House, and he did it for the betterment of the team. Good for you. But here's the reality. Philadelphia doesn't owe you anything. unless there's a side deal, unless there's an under the table agreement somewhere that we don't know about, that they're going to recoup and make up that $13-14 million that he lost, they don't owe you anything. You want to go to Houston and sign there for $40 million a year? God bless you. And God bless the Rockets going in that direction. Have you watched him in the playoffs? Have you watched him as a Houston Rocket? Have you watched him in these first and second rounds here? 12 of 55. He is a no-show in closeout games here. So now if you're Philadelphia, what do you do with James Harden? You're basically on a level playing field. The most you can offer him is 4 years because of the over 38 rule. If you, the most that a team like Houston can offer him is 4 years. You're not offering him 4 years, $210 million. You're not offering, God, I mean, I don't think Houston would offer 4 for 201. What are you offering him? You have him come back at $30 million? Is he going to take another discount? He's got a $35 million player option. If you let him walk, you don't have cap space, but you've got your non-taxman level exception at 12.2, and you've got Tyrese Maxey, and maybe Maxey and D'Anthony Melton is your backcourt of the future. Or maybe you can parlay Tobias Harris into something here. But man, there are so many decisions that Philadelphia has to ask going into the offseason, and certainly the Harden one is going to be a huge one. I mean, I can go through all the analytics and all the stats that we want. He's going to turn 34 in August. He ranks 7th in total minutes played among active players. In the Brooklyn series, he shot 7 of 30 in the paint. Worst field goal percentage by any player since 96-97. Okay? In the losses, 12 of 35, as I mentioned. Okay? I mean, listen, there are good things, too, that we saw. Game 1, certainly game 4, he played at an all-NBA level, led the league in assists. So there are good things to take it from. But when it means something, when the money is on the line here, I mean, here the track record is there. So you're not paying him $47 million as a max player. And if he wants to go to Houston at $47 million, at $40 million, so be it. Let him go. With this new CBA, it's going to cripple you anyway if you have him and Embiid and then Maxey on the contract here. So that's going to be your first thing as far as, what will probably happen is you'll probably just fire the coach and you'll sign Harden, and then you figure out the next coach thinks can save the world here. And that's probably unlikely going to happen. I mean, we see this all the time. It's always about blaming the coach, and it's never about blaming your two stars when they no-showed. Jason Tatum showed up. Jaylen Brown showed up. Al Horford defended. And for Philadelphia, your two stars no-showed. That's the reality of it. So that's your top front office priority. Your extension candidate is going to be Tyrese Maxey. I think you got to figure out what happens with Harden first. Maxey's extension eligible. I mean, look at his numbers when he started. 41 starts, 22 points, 49 from the field, 46 from three. He's going to get more. He's not a max guy, but I mean, Darius Garland got a max. If you're Tyrese Maxey, I'm thinking 4 for 130. I'm thinking I'm getting more than Jordan Poole, more than Tyler Hero, more than RJ Barrett. He's your extension eligible guy. Your offseason, your other extensions, Milton, McDaniels, those are up to June 30th. Paul Reed, Harris, Melton. Tobias Harris might be the odd man out here. If you let Harden go and you move Tobias Harris, you could have $45-46 million in room. He's going into the last year of his expiring contract. Your free agents are, here's your free agents: Harden, Montrezl Harrell. He's got a player option. God, he's been in the witness protection. Talk about a disaster of a signing that was. Daniel House had some moments. Jalen McDaniels, you move Tybal for him. Basically, another guy missing in action. Dwayne Dedman, people were doing had a parade when Dwayne Dedman signed there. Big deal. Shake Milton, we haven't seen him since I don't even know when. George Niang, Paul Reed, restricted. Maybe he's back on a $4 or $5 million deal. Those are your free agents here. You've got no draft picks. You got no first or second this year. You owe Oklahoma City a top 6 protected first in 2025. It's top 4 protected in 26 and 27. You owe Brooklyn a pick 2 years after that, either in 27 or 28. You got 3 seconds to move. The earliest is that you can move a first is maybe 2029, but that's if the first to Oklahoma City is conveyed in 25 and the first to Brooklyn is conveyed in 2027. And then you can move in 2029, but we don't even know about that right now. And then you've got Embiid under contract, right? Year 1 of the Supermax kicks in 2023, 2024. Good luck with that. A heck of a regular season player, but let's face it, Game 7, which we all remember players by, was a total no-show. So, and I'm not even a Sixer fan. I'm like PO'd about doing this video here because you had them. You had it in your hands at Game 6, and you blew it. You were up 9 in the second half, and then Harden makes a flagrant, and it turns the game around. Well, George Niang should have been thrown out of the game. I mean, it can go on and here. But here we go. Your priorities is figuring out what to do with the head coach. James Harden, of course. Figure it. It's like part 2 here. I mean, you bring Harden back on a $45 million contract, you're a second apron team. You're in the luxury tax. Like, there's no get out of jail free card unless you move Tobias Harris. You got Tyrese Maxey, who's extension eligible. What I would do, I'd let Harden go, and I would build the roster on Maxey and Embiid. That's what I would do. And if Embiid pulls a hissy fit, then I would move him a year from now, and you just start this whole process all over again. But that's the offseason in Philadelphia, and there are some. I mean, we thought about there was going to be some decisions in Phoenix, and they already did with Monty Williams, and we thought there was going to be some decisions in Golden State, and we'll see that, and we're going to see decisions in Memphis, and what a train wreck that is with Ja Morant, and he's going to get banged for 25, 30 games probably. So the offseason starts right now, and congrats to the 4 teams that are left.